Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchist Dave, and today I'm here with all these nerds, and we're going to play some Zoo Mafia, our very own RPG that we've been working on and having a blast with. Nerdarchist Ted is our Zookeeper today. Of course, we have our friends Bobby, Carlos, Robin, and Jezi in the house. There are links to them down in the description below. Go show them some love. And with that, I'm just going to get to it and throw it right to our Zookeeper.
Okay, so the illustrious mob here has found themselves, seeking out a life of crime after some hardships have come their way through trials, tribulations, some good decisions and bad. They've decided they want to make contact with one Bunny Malone, the up-and-coming mafia head of Scarborough. She's looking to stake a claim and make her area known. In so doing, they got in touch with one of her people, one of her handlers, and they said, okay, you want to test things out? Here's a mission. Get into this club, the speakeasy, if you will, find your way into a game, and find this raccoon who's got a hidden ledger that could possibly do some bad business for Bunny Malone if it got out. Bring it back. A little bit of icing on the cake if you can bring Bunny a gift from said speakeasy. That's just the carrot on top. They got in. They got into the game. A couple of them got kicked out. But Tumbleweed wound up winning the game, winning the pot, and had a choice to make. Does he, increase his, monetary wealth, his peanut score, or does he counteract Dave's character's problem when he failed his peanut roll to get into the card game? So he balanced the scales and kept things even, covering was it Rose's rent? And off we go. A meeting is set up, and you have got a meeting later today with Bunny Malone, as Clyde seems to be your go-to person at the moment, and he tells you where and when you need to be. So, what do you guys do?
I mean, at this point in time, I guess I say I'd be hanging out with Rosa.
Well, it sounds like we've got a appointment.
Yeah, but what we're doing before the appointment, I think I heard. Is that inaccurate?
What was your question, Carlos?
You said, what are we doing before the appointment?
Yeah, what are you doing right now?
I mean, other than rolling to my start of the job ability, I guess hanging out with Rosa and whatever they're doing.
I'm gonna get all my quality time in talking to my little amigos before our long-eared friend shows up.
Is there such thing as failing a start of the job ability?
Yes and no.
So it didn't say anything about failing or not failing. It just says I get my range is I got a 4 with double 2s. So I don't know if I can fail that or not.
So it with some start of job abilities, it's not a fail. It tells you what you get. Some say like, okay, this is going to be a hold to be used against you, or this is going to be you get 1 hold, 2 holds, 3 holds. With start of job abilities, sometimes those fall outside the realm of success with consequence, and failure.
Okay, then Ted, I'll let you pick the most broken down vehicle I can have to show the team the complete polar opposite between pimped out white sedan limousine nonsense to broken nonsense. All right.
So you've got a barely serviceable car that has kind of been lifted from a mechanic. Its doors are mismatched paint. One of them still primer gray. 3 of the tires have the white wall, but the one is still riding on a donut, and it's definitely kicking off some backfires.
I'm gonna take a cab. I'm not riding in it.
I am a ride or die kind of friend. I will totally ride with the wall, but I may jump occasionally when it backfires.
In all fairness, you may ride and die in this thing.
Are you taking a cab with me, Tumbleweed?
Absolutely.
That's what real friends do, okay? Fair weather ride friends.
All right, look, I need all the heavy people in the back because, I mean, I don't want to, accidentally pop a wheelie, you know what I'm saying?
So, I want to throw you on the spot there, Carlos. So, what is going on that this was your best option to nab? Were you on some kind of like time limit? Is there something else in your agenda?
It's exactly as how Boomer explained to them from the get-go. Look, I know people around town that owe me favors. Sometimes I can get something nice, sometimes I get something bad. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, just be happy I ain't get a pedal bike. Otherwise, you'll be pedaling your way to the job.
And this is why I am unashamed about taking a cab. And also, Jonas, will you be joining us in said cab?
In the cab.
Amigo,
Yes.
notice I'm not complaining. I'm here in your ride. It is fantastic. Back where I come from, this probably wouldn't even have doors.
Actually, funny story about that, man. I had to tell them to put on that last door right there.
Oh, that is completely wonderful, my friend. You have that much pull. They just put a door on the spot. That's amazing.
Oh, you can do what you can sometimes.
Are you on drugs?
No, I'm not on drugs. Not yet, at least. You know?
Have
Would
you
it
been
be?
drinking?
Oh, I don't drink and drive. I gotta be 100% lucid while making my runs.
Okay, because this is like half a car, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
My amigo will do the driving. I will do the drinking.
I mean, look. Listen, if I'm being honest with you, I don't got a vehicle. But sometimes people need a job done, so they lend me some stuff. And they owe me favors here and there. You know, I've run out a bit of my luck right now, so, you know, it just is what it is. I didn't mean that this be my own. If I had the option to pick something else better, sweetheart, you know I would have, right? Come on, I dropped you in a limousine last time.
That's the expectation now. A little bit under that.
No, I'm sorry to break your heart.
Oh, my amigo definitely went a little under that for sure. It covered. Boom.
You know, I just have to say that when I talked to you about getting a showy vehicle and how we could afford to fly under the radar, this does not even acknowledge that the radar exists.
So it's perfect for the most inconspicuous job.
I see. Well, the three of us are going to take a cab because we are going to divide and conquer, and I hope to see you on the other side. And he will tip his bowler hat and then get in that cab with Jonas and Sugar.
So I'm assuming so yeah, I'd be like, alright Rosa, saddle up.
All right, my friend.
Oh.
I will get in the back as you suggested in order to balance out the weight, and that is fine. Hey, you know what? Since it is just the two of us here, have a swig of my tequila.
I look around quick.
There you go. When you ride a shaky ride like this, you got to get loose so you can go with it, my man.
Oh yeah. Alright, get him, Justine. Catch. I was like, you know, then the car goes, fires off one. You know, I'll be right off into the night.
All right. So you guys are having a daytime meeting with
Oh, excuse
Bunny Malone. So you're meeting at a regular establishment. This is the Gilded Lily Tea House. So it's just after lunch. It's 1 p.m. is the requested time. And knowing the destination, does that change any of your attire?
Yes. I'm going to put a bonnet and a cute little dress on. And look at the other two. You guys know how to dress for tea, right?
Oh, of course. And he will take off his bowler tie, and you see he produces an almost identical but just slightly different metal clasp for the bowler tie and puts it on.
I'm honestly worried about the other two in the other car. Like 100% if we're getting tea.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. And then I realized something. If they can survive the trip in that thing, that in itself is a show of impressive skill and possibly dumb luck.
Who has the book, though?
Jonas.
Okay. That's a responsible choice.
All right, Boomer, we're going for tea. Everybody knows tea sucks. So that's why I brought extra tequila, so we can fix it.
If I give you a tip of my hat, you know to go with a slickety splat, man. Drop some of that in my cup, all right?
I got you.
Yeah. I don't know why they're worrying, man. Like, I've been driving, getting shot at, or heavy artillery bombed on me. I still made it out in one piece, more or less.
Boomer, you're the best driver I know.
Okay, well, the compliments come to you. But I hope you don't mind. I'm not gonna park directly up front, you know?
Oh no, we don't want to show off your fancy ride and be conspicuous.
Sure. Sure, yeah, that's the reason why. And I guess I'm assuming enough time passes where we get a chance to park our vehicles or get let off.
Indeed, you guys arrive at the Gilded Lily without any kind of undue hardship. You know, beyond surviving a ride in a very messed up vehicle. But hey, you got there. So, a refined and exclusive establishment in Furton City. The Gilded Lily caters to the city's upper echelon, both legal and sometimes illicit. Fine china, fragrant teas, and delicate pastries create a veneer of civility, but beneath the surface, hushed deals and veiled threats are sometimes exchanged, as often as cups of Earl Grey. As you step into this luxurious scene, rich carpet, elegantly carved chairs and tables adorn, the venue. There is indeed a counter which behind serves, a beautiful swan, Madame Petal, owner and hostess. There is a Persian cat that seems to be directing a handful of servers this way and that, as the place is fairly full of patrons. You see a red panda off to one side having a conversation, with some guests. There's a fox who looks like they've just stepped right off the small stage that's there. Her elegant dress clings tightly to her body. There's a couple well-dressed dogs that they're a little bit tired. And then there's a pair of sparrows that are off to one table in quick but whispered conversation.
Is the swan elderly, or what is her age like?
It is hard to tell. She seems to have passed the age of innocence. There's definitely intelligence behind her eyes, but beyond that, you can't tell whether she is just young or whether she has aged incredibly well.
Okay. Tumbleweed was going to try to lay on the charm, but I think if I can't tell, then he's probably just gonna sit back and be more chill and
Fine line between creepy and charming.
Exactly. And Tumbleweed has enough class to know that. So, but that being said, I would like to try to find Bunny Malone if she's here. Or do we see anyone we know?
At this present juncture, no. But as you step in, and the Persian cat, she seems to greet you. Kind of stepping out in front of the swan. She's like, "Hello, I am Miss Plum. Do you have a reservation?"
We have an appointment and reservation. Someone should be expecting us.
Do you know who the party's under?
Who's the guy that we usually go through for contact?
Clyde.
Clyde, perhaps?
Yeah, I don't have anything
Or
here
a
for
specific rabbit?
Oh. Do you have the rabbit's name?
Malone?
Okay, just this way then. And she actually gestures towards the small door that kind of like, you really didn't pick up on it before, with all of the richness of this place. The doorway that exists almost seems to blend in, and she guides you to this back room, and we're like waiting within the doorway, or just past the doorway. You see Clyde, and without words, the cat looks to Clyde. He gives a nod after looking at the lot of you, and all of you kind of continue back and are led into an even more luxurious room. The carpet is so thick you can feel it squish as your foot falls upon it. The table and chairs are made of darker and richer woods. The artwork that's hung on the wall is just exquisite. You can hear just the faintest bit of music, just low enough that it can be heard, but not loud enough that it's going to interrupt any kind of conversation. You think it might be done to dissuade any eavesdropping that might happen in the room? But seated at the table, completely facing the direction that you guys are coming, is a very elegantly dressed rabbit.
Well, hello, Miss Malone. We have returned with your requested, shall we say, your errands.
Item.
Yes. Well, we have, and he'll kind of nudge Jonas forward first.
I will produce the book and offer it.
So she holds out her hand, which seems to do, seems to give the indication of two things. Number one, she's holding out her hand to take the journal, but the way she's doing it, just a little bit of a flourish. She's pointing at the chairs that are seated directly across from her. You all get the indication that she's asking you to sit as well. But she does take the journal and quickly leafs through it, and she seems satisfied as the book disappears within her garments.
Cool. Can we say that I snatched one of the tokens from the poker game, or no?
Sure.
Okay, yeah. I will also just slide that across the table very smoothly as the little extra bit. I did very well, actually.
That is the news that I heard. She gestures to one side, and Clyde comes and sits next to her. So you fancy yourselves getting involved in what we do here?
I think so, especially seeing as our team pulled this off together. Just because Rosa didn't win the poker game doesn't mean that he and Boomer were not also intricately involved in the success of this entire mission.
You would be surprised at how much I know of the exact layout of last evening's activities.
So, Ted, I have a hunch, but
Sure.
I'm not sure if my character is necessarily the savvy type to pick up on this.
Sure.
So, you tell me what you think I would think or do.
You tell me what you think, and then we'll go from there.
So I think either that rabbit was Bunny in disguise, or alternatively is a close relative of hers and may bear some resemblance. I'm not sure that my character is savvy enough to pick up on that. I think there's probably others in the party that are savvy enough to pick up on that if that's the case, that are not me. But
all right, well, all of you were in the room. Anybody that wants to make an awareness roll, put your peepers to work, looking back, go ahead.
Why, we need a lookout.
I was not aware enough.
so I got doubles. It's bad.
I've also got doubles in bad.
Because the enemy boss is showing.
All right, so it's a failure with the enemy boss doubles.
I got 4 as a baseline. Let me see how my it's awareness. I have a -1.
Wow.
You have a 3.
I did
So-
very badly.
Doubles with the enemy boss as you lose a marker.
Yeah, there we go.
So I failed with doubles.
You failed with just doubles.
Yeah, it's just doubles.
So failure with doubles is you get a -1 forward.
I got a success with consequences with doubles.
Success with consequence with just doubles is you take a -1 forward, but you get to give a +1 forward.
When you fail, you also gain XP, right?
Oh, yep.
Two, right?
One
One?
XP.
Okay, my bad.
You get 2 for a session. You get one XP for any failed roll.
I would love it if you cancel out my -1, baby.
I can do that.
My guy, thank you.
So, Bobby, you can make any wild thought with your absolutely failed roll.
Okay.
As far as what Rosa understands, all right, let me ask this question of the flamingo. Are you the type that sees things for how they are? With so many different animal species, have you had times where like you've confused the dogs or confused the rabbits? Let's see how we can figure out what your consequence is.
Huh. Did you just ask me if Rosa's racist?
Racist.
No, I don't think so. Actually, I think being a flamingo at the zoo means that he gets to kind of like mingle with more animals than most of the others. So he probably is always like chatting up different people in different parts of the zoo, and the zookeepers are like, he's at it again, and then they lure me back to where I belong with shrimp, and it works every time. He's a sucker for shrimp.
All right, so then I would say you aren't really seeing any kind of resemblance or connection being between Bunny and Dolly.
Mm,
You know, other than them both being, rabbits.
right. My friend, not all rabbits look the same.
Oh, that's what I as a player think. Because
I
failed
know,
so
I know.
miserably, he's actually going to look at Bunny and say, "Do you know that raccoon?"
Do I know the raccoon that you got the book from? Yes.
Yeah, but are you like, was he your in guy?
Oh, my friend, I think you misunderstand, amigo. And I whisper, feeling a little embarrassed for you. That was a different rabbit, my friend. This is more of a hare. That was more of a bunny rabbit. They're completely different. I know they hop and, but it's not the same. Both cute and adorable, but in different ways.
No, I think she planted that book as the. And they start like whispering.
No. I mean, except for the
somewhat
European
loudly.
hair, because they look like they've done a lot of drugs in their life, but that's completely different.
But what about the
You are-
raccoon?
Literally.
You are quite amusing looking at Rosa. Yes, I know the raccoon. He used to work for me.
Oh, I thought he was currently working for you.
Yeah.
I am so sorry for this.
Well,
Sometimes age gets the best of us.
I
Well,
like to think I get the best of age. Thank you very much.
You know, armadillos, they
Normally
like to
do.
go into the ball and roll around, and sometimes they get rattled and hit things a little bit too much. Sometimes the kids are mean and they play the football with them. It's not his fault.
well, you were successful last night. You've started building a little bit of a name for yourself. I don't know how much you. And, her ears kind of lift up a little bit. I don't know how much you keep your ears to the ground, as they say. But there are those that are beginning to talk.
Listen, from down under where I'm from, all I do is keep down to the ground.
I'm willing to entertain the notion. Though I hope, and she kind of gestures between Rosa and Tumbleweed. I hope this is not your normal, and that last night's success is what I hope to see more of. But I'm not going to just walk through blindly. So, right here in front of Clyde and myself, I want each of you to convince me. What is it that you bring to the table, and why should I seriously consider, individually or as a group, however you see fit, that we move forward?
Well, I suppose I can go first then, seeing as I made a right fool of myself, apparently. In all fairness, though, that's a risk. And I am willing to take a risk for a gain. And I do have the luxury, we'll say, of being able to take risks without too many scratches. This hide isn't the only thing that's real sturdy about me. And let's just say that when push comes to shove, I can back up every one of my, we'll say, elder audacities.
Okay. So is that what you would consider your strength?
I consider my strength being that I know the ins and outs of a lot of things, being that I have the experience that comes with age. And I have enough experience to let me know that I don't have every strength, which is why I have this team that is quite capable to help support me. I consider my friends just as much of a strength as I do my own shell.
Well spoken.
I know when to keep my mouth shut.
That is a fine quality to have.
They gasp, was there shade thrown?
Oh yeah, no, you can tell. There's a smirk. There's an expression. There's smarm going on here.
But tell me more. Jonas, is it?
I have quick hands and an understanding of where everybody's internal parts are. It probably wouldn't be appropriate for me to be perfectly blunt about what it is I do, but I think you can put the pieces together.
I can. I find it interesting the way you laid that out, but rest assured we are well protected here. There are not any that are going to walk away and whisper elsewhere.
Not like you could prove anything if you did. And you need to know.
I like to confirm. I already have a decent bit of information on all of you. But I like to hear things from one's own mouth to do more than verify.
And now you know I'm being honest with you.
So the door opens up and a very well-dressed ferret comes in. It's got a tray with a variety of, small cookies and pastries, followed by the head waitress, the Persian cat, with a tray with a series of cups and a steaming teapot on it. The tray of cookies is set down and the ferret quickly whisks away. Meanwhile, the cat puts a fine china cup in front of each of you and pours the tea out and gives a nod to Bunny.
If you don't mind me adding to that, Ted, as the food is coming out, can a little cup of sauce come out? Specifically, the type of sauce that I dropped on Al Capone's collar, knowing that Buddy Malone knows, and I accidentally fucked up somehow.
I don't think shrimp sauce would be something that would be here unless you brought it in.
Okay, well, okay. I wasn't sure.
I think he's saying as Bunny Malone sending a message to him of knowing about his fuck up. Because it absolutely, cocktail sauce doesn't belong in a tea house. You're correct.
Yeah. So like,
correct. I will send a marker if I need to edit that scene for it to happen, baby.
Okay.
I feel like it's worth it in my opinion.
If you are that invested, then absolutely you can spend the marker, and the ferret puts a small little dish of cocktail sauce directly in front of you. No words to
knowing that it's not supposed to be there. Knowing that it's not supposed to be there. Yes, I'm the type of player. I will spend a marker for my own downfall.
Absolutely. I got no problems with that aspect. All right, so a couple of you have spoken. Bunny looks.
Well, I'm waiting for the help to kind of move on.
Yeah. Once the help leaves the room and the door closes yet again, Bunny looks expectantly at the lot of you who haven't spoken yet.
My amiga, let me introduce myself. I am Rosa Dynamita, and my specialty is opening things that don't want to be opened. And sometimes I need to bring the boom because you need to be a little extra spicy when getting things done. I know it is not quiet and subtle, but sometimes You need to push those things aside and get the job done. My little amigos have to come out to play sometimes, and I pat my chest.
You actually bring them in here?
Oh, amiga, I bring them everywhere. Senorita, it would not do for me to be someplace and need them and not have them there. You just never know. You might need something open that's really resistant to being open. You might need someone to go away that's being overly persistent. And maybe a jar is just really, really stuck sometimes and you need to get it open.
I'm gonna start coughing out a cookie.
But I bring more to this than just that. Look at my exquisite, fantastical fashion sense. No one here dresses like me. No one. Not in this whole place.
And how are you dressed currently?
Kind of like a bandito. Sombrero, he's got the poncho on. It's all colorful.
Well, I can
maybe
say
a bandolier of bullets.
I can say that no one in all of Scarborough does that.
Oh, and I don't want to make a big deal of it, but I'm also bilingual.
Well then, so I guess the reports are indeed accurate, and you can tell that she's a little perplexed by your, well, you.
You know what? On that note, I'll even come up and say, "Oh, so you know 2 ways to talk bullshit, eh?"
My friend, I do not know what you speak of this bowling shit.
So, Rosa's very good at commanding attention as well.
Clearly.
The senoritas love it when I speak Spanish. Even some of the senors do as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use Sly to, top off Boomer's tea and my tea with some tequila.
Okay. Go ahead and give it a roll.
So that's a 6. That's a 6. So that's doubles. That's a 3. So we are sitting at 9. Oh, that's also a boss. And Sly is a 3. So I got a 12 with the neutral boss showing. Oh wait a minute, no, it doesn't. Yeah, neutral boss showing.
All right, so neutral boss doubles on a crit. Everyone gets a +1 forward.
My guy.
So, you handedly are able to douse your own drink, and you lean over to kind of get Boomer to kind of knock it off with his slide comments, but at the same time you manage to tip the unseen flask into his cup, spiking it as well. But the general energy of your elbow jab kind of like lifts up the room a little bit. Everybody seems a little bit more jovial than they were a moment ago. Just for you're just one little nudge.
As I stare at my cocktail sauce served to me, cold, ice cold.
Money is between Boomer and Sugar.
Go ahead, Boomer.
See, you already know about us, evidently, as I stare down at the sauce. Know a lot.
Well, I told you, I'm looking to confirm things. I like to hear things spoken plainly to see what you think about yourself and what you might want to keep hidden.
This is what I think of myself as I put my dog tags down on the table.
You put your what?
Everything, my dog tags.
Okay.
Everything you need to know about me is right there. I served in war. I know what this life's about. I know what it means to be under fire, under pressure, and under suppression.
Bro, what was it, the first or the second emu war?
The gum leaf war, the gum leaf war. The emu war happened in spurts here and there, but you know, us koalas weren't really involved in that. But you know, you need someone that can get a job done. I can do it. And this, as I race to the sauce to it, and take a quick look inside of it, tangy, and put it back down.
In case you're wondering, 1932.
As I take the lick in, you know, taste it up real fast. I'm just like, yeah, it happens. Accidents. But, hey, accidents happen everywhere. War, and everything involved in between. Don't worry, I can clean up my own messes as I wipe the sauce off my mouth.
Well, you seem confident in your words.
Well, I hope my rolls work as good as my mouth.
There are those, and she kind of gestures towards your dog tags. There are those who wear them that didn't actually do anything. There are those who wear them that took part and didn't really take part. Sure, they served, but they didn't see any action. They didn't do anything. So having tags doesn't send the same message you think it does.
You're forgetting, Miss Malone, you're forgetting something. There were also those buried with them as well.
Of course.
And wow, yeah, I guarantee you, there were those not who saw combat, who saw atrocities, but without those working intel, whew, me and my squadron are going to be able to out here have this conversation right now. There is no small part of a team.
And I'm willing to accept that as well. But you say that having the tags tells you everything. And I'm saying that just because you have tags doesn't say anything definitively about who you are. You had to use the words to say what it was that you did. I've got plenty of people that can pretend to have gone through what you've done and do it just as well without ever having actually been there. Not to make light or fun of what you have gone through. Just saying that each skill set is different.
Absolutely.
Each
Well,
thing,
if you need
each member of a team needs to bring something to the table that the others don't have.
Well, ma'am, if you need me to earn my stripes all over again, God knows I will. You know, Uncle Sam ain't doing it.
That is precisely what is happening today. You guys are starting to earn your way into a new unit, a new employee.
As I take my tea, raise it, Respectful toast, mind you, and swing some tequila spiked tea, yes. And I need to
She
grab my V12 because it fell for some reason.
and she turns expectantly to Sugar.
All right. Obviously, last but not least, my skill set is much less physical than everyone else's. Like yourself, I am a smaller animal, so I have to rely on wit and quickness. I have a magnetism or appeal about me that I can manipulate or distract or, be the distraction, however you want to look at it, for the group. And I'm also extremely good at reading people like yourself. And
Well.
I'm the one who made the lovely invitation. I can copy anything.
I'm told that you are good with words, and that is clearly accurate. Now, there are many different avenues for those who wish to work with me. So, and she gestures to, all of you to, be able to speak your mind. What are you looking to do? What are you looking to do for me? For us, if you will. You have a wide array of abilities. If you all were to have the talents of Jonas here, or maybe even what is Tumbleweed's real name?
Arthur.
Arthur?
Yep.
Or Arthur here, that would be an avenue of one direction. And I could point you here, go this way. If you are more inclined to Boomer or Rosa, I could have another avenue, jobs. You are all quite diverse. In so doing, makes a very tight-knit and organized group. But how to properly employ a lot of you together? That is the question. So I ask, is there something that you feel collectively you want to do? Is there an avenue of the business that we are in that you feel would be a specialty?
I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but all I know for certain is I want to stick with this squad, even though we take different rides to the same location. But, as I learned from my time, unit stays together.
Well, yes. I'm not looking to split you up. You guys are seeking to join together. Therefore, I figured you wanted to operate together. And that is what I'm trying to figure out of how to best employ you. I need to further test you out. You did the job to gain this meeting. I imagine there'll be several other jobs to continue proving yourself to me, to my organization. And if you can do so, we'll find a spot for you. If not, well, then that'll be another decision to consider then.
Senorita Bunny, if you need business acumen, then clearly Tumbleweed is our go-to. But if you need someone with persuasion and charisma who needs to network and navigate social elites, then obviously we need Sugar. But if you're talking straight up tactical infiltration and getting out, then we can rely on Jonas and myself and Boomer. We kind of like fill in the gaps in between and go where we're needed. So perhaps we should discuss it amongst ourselves, or might I suggest we go where you need us, since we've come beseeching you, Senorita.
Well, I can step out and allow you to discuss if you want to go that direction, or if you would rather me just assign you something, I can do that too. But I figured having you decide what not only would spark your interest from your capabilities, but to spark your interest in what you would desire to do. That would speak to me that much more so.
So,
In all honesty, we like a little bit of a challenge and a lot of money.
if I can lay our cards on the table, proverbially speaking, and
So-
as a point of
So
reference.
out of game.
Okay.
You know, she's willing to step out of the room and let you guys have a conversation without her being there, or she can just kind of like, all right, I got all these jobs, let me pick one and hand it to you. What do you guys want to do?
My vote is taking what I'm given. I don't know where everyone else votes is at.
I'd rather show a little bit more initiative. She respects it.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that our characters are fairly new to this life, as far as I'm understanding. So it might be good to at least tell her kind of why we're here and what we're trying to do, and see what her input is, because I think she values initiative and direction, but I also think she probably has certain things she wants done, and if she communicates those to us, then we may find ourselves in more favor and getting better jobs, especially if she knows now kind of what direction we are looking to get out of it, right?
So it's a two-part question. Number one, as a DM, here's an opportunity where I'm giving you guys the, hey, we haven't done this kind of job in Zoo Mafia. How about we give this a try? Or from a player perspective, what kind of jobs does your characters want to go do? I am putting the next job potentially into your hands, to get it figured out.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll run everything else and get it for you, but here is a chance to kind of dictate what the next thing looks like.
Absolutely, and I guess I'm speaking from Boomer's perspective as a soldier, taking orders and doing
Sure.
it to the best of his ability. So that's how I'm
yeah.
voting.
I absolutely understand that mindset. I'm trying to communicate an idea both to the players and the characters and see how it's handled.
So I think we voted to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
As
Bunny
Malone
finishes her. Oh, go ahead.
At some point while you say how Bunny Malone's walking out, I'm just gonna mention, can I get a little bit of shrimp with the shrimp sauce, please? Hope that's not a bother.
Koalas don't eat shrimp.
Bunny finishes her tea. Clyde does the same. He's been, fairly quiet this entire time, and the two of them head out. When you ask about, can I get some shrimp for the sauce? She just kind of pointedly looks at you, but doesn't say another word as she steps out of the room.
I need to spend the marker to make this happen, baby.
No shrimp for you.
No,
Right.
yep, no trip for you. You come back 1 year. All right, so the door closes, and you know, in the silence, you can hear the subtle music in the background.
So,
Before we go any further, do you think this room is tapped?
Probably.
almost certainly.
Everything probably is.
Should we try and find it and get rid of it, or should
No.
we?
No. We're in
Look,
there
man.
now.
She knew about shrimp sauce. She knew about shrimp sauce gate. All right, man. Look,
I'm still angry for you taking my shrimp.
don't worry, I'll pay you back.
So-
Pops.
What kind of jobs do we want to suggest? Because if not, she's going to pick for us or not hire us.
So the reason I initially started all this and got all y'all together is because, frankly speaking, I saw that the systems that we have in place are just as criminal as the organized crime, and everybody's hurting the little guy. And I felt like it was time somebody stood up for the little guys. And all of you, and myself included, are in some way little guys. In some way. And at least from my perspective, that's part of why I liked going to Bunny, because she understands what it's like, and that's probably why she's trying to make a name for herself.
So, do we want to propose that we want to do jobs that benefit Scarborough and protecting Scarborough, and maybe defensive or offensive jobs that would ensure Bunny's success and this district's?
I would agree
I
with that.
mean,
Yeah,
there's
I
no
like
such
that.
thing as bad. There's no such thing as bad publicity, you know, especially when you're helping those in need.
I also think that if we're working for Scarborough, we should, like, name something parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, right?
Yeah. Well, so here's my thought, right? When it comes to the bosses, Bunny's our best bet, because Otto just wants chaos and he wants to hurt everybody. It don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
And as far as Carlo Hambino goes, everybody's just a number. They're business to him.
Mm.
And Al Capone exactly does not care about the little guys, because her entire thing is proven she is the top predator.
Well, we pissed cats off. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. She's going to want to help her district.
Yeah. That's why I'm all for it. I think that's a great idea to propose to her. Assuming that Rosa and Boomer are in on it too, and they feel the same way.
You know how I feel about the small folk. Even if sometimes I accidentally blow up their bakeries, that was not my intention.
Well, I mean, that's a good example, though. Like, okay, let's say that the cats are trying to come in on this area. That would be something we would be interested in preventing, right? Like helping those business owners that have to pay them now, rather than getting protection from Bunny.
Exactly. Also, if we can
I
stick
like
it,
it. I like it a lot.
also if we
I
can stick
mean-
it to a bank or to any of the bigger name
Yeah, I
bosses.
mean, one of the things we did back down under was we would riff-raff out some underlings and whatnot, just to put ourselves in powers, just to, you know, keep the peace, and the town folks loved us for a little while. Ted, would it be okay to use my bootlegging ability second half to roll to see if I know anything about bootlegging operations happening in the area?
So, I mean, you would have a little bit of general knowledge. What are you looking to try and figure out.
So the suggestion, if I can do it, would be to suggest over the tumbleweed, hey yo, look, we can have our cake and eat it because I know about some operation happening over at somewhere. And check it out, we could look like we're cleaning up the streets while taking said supply and bringing it here.
You know.
So
Jonas, what do you
That's
think?
what I'm gunning at.
So that would be a tough situation because most time like things are operated through channels just to kind of ensure secrecy and what have you. And while you've done a little here and a little there, it's been to bring it into Scarborough and to try and get information here. Like that's pretty much where Bunny is already trying to get control of. So I'll say if you can roll a straight success, I'll give you a contact in one other, one of the other districts.
Okay. That's only assuming my team would like for that to happen, FYI.
What was
Are we
that?
good with that, guys? I'm only doing this roll if everyone else is okay with that.
Well, I think Arthur would like to hear from Jonas too, just to make sure, because Jonas, out of all of us,
Absolutely.
has probably the most to lose if things ever go south. And
Absolutely.
also he has probably like the most roots and like ties to a community in any way.
Absolutely. That's why I'm waiting on everything. I'm just offering a suggestion, not the answer.
Okay, so I think that the ethos that we're basing this on is a really good one, and I'm on board with it.
All right.
So what's the plan? That's a great proposition and idea. What's the plan?
I think we try to establish Bunny in this area as a starting point, because if she has a home turf to defend, then she can start expanding it from there, just like the other bosses. Right now, she's trying to get a foothold. So if you want to do that through the bootlegging operation, or
Carlos is asking, do you want him to know? Do you want him to roll to see if he has a contact that could potentially, be a job of, hey, let's go get this bootlegger and get him to work for Bunny instead of, Otto or Owl or Hambino.
sure.
I mean that's one vote. What's that? Everyone else saying?
So, my friends, I like the direction we're talking and where this is going. Now we just need our dear Senorita Sugar to lay it all out for Bunny in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, I can do that. It shouldn't be too hard.
Or if you want it told in an epic way, me and Boomer can probably work that out.
We gotta.
We're gonna
work
need props.
on your We need to work on your upper class communication. It's like talking to aliens. It takes a bit.
So, out of character, are we saying yes to Carlos making the roll?
I don't know. I'm legitimately looking for a group consensus on this.
I'm cool.
And I mean, yeah, I just want to know, because I can make it happen if I spend the marker. Obviously, let's say I roll like dog shit, I can always spend the marker to make it happen. But
You're gonna be out of markers in this session.
I mean, let's say I spend it. I'm at 8. You know. But I don't know. I just want to see what I'm just trying to offer a way to see what the group wants or doesn't want. You know what I mean? And I'm fine with anything what the group wants to do.
All right. So
I just want
Bob,
to offer a
Bobby has
suggestion
voted
of action.
yes. Bobby has voted yes. Robin, where do you go? All right, Jezi.
I mean, it's useful information, so
All
it's
right,
fine.
all right, Dave.
Risky for the biscuit, but I don't think you should spend a marker if you fail.
Okay,
All right,
okay,
you have
that's all I
you
need to
have
hear.
to answer that, Carlos.
Okay, if I fail, I will not spend the marker, right? 5, 6, 7, 8 plus my what is it? Magnetism keepers. 8, 9, 10. It's 10.
All right, there you go. So you have a contact. Let's go.
According to this,
Roll a d6 for me.
You said D6 is going to be involved. 2. I have one in handy.
So you have a bootlegging contact that is currently working for Carlo Hambino.
Okay. I have 3 holds, meaning what exactly?
So we were doing something different here. We were extrapolating your ability to get this contact. Like normally, that's meant to ask questions. That's what the holds do. But we were using that skill to develop that you have a contact. You know who this person is, who he works for.
Understood. Yeah.
So you're getting the 3 questions wrapped into one dude.
Okay.
So you've got Benny McGraw, who is a beaver who kind of lives outside of Furton City, as many of the bootleggers do. Out in the boonies, the sticks, if you will. And there he uses his bootlegging to make a variety of alcohols for Hambino, and gets it brought in. Sometimes he's the driver himself. Sometimes he uses other drivers. So there's your dude.
I'll disclose that, and I'll even add on to the group. And I heard he has no morals. He'll sell to anybody. Kids, old ladies, men, women, anyone in between. He doesn't care where he gets his penis from, as long as he gets some.
I don't know if I like that, though.
Nah, I say we take him out. Get rid of a problem.
Oh.
I mean, I have a lot less qualms about being a little more, shall we say, forcefully persuasive with such a person to help us.
Yeah, I think we should present kind of our overall goal to Bunny, and then if she wants a specific idea, I guess we can suggest that one.
You are our
Absolutely.
mouthpiece. We give you the ideas. You lay them out for us.
Absolutely. As Rosa would say, you want a bad hombre? This is a bad hombre. Whatever happens to him makes no difference to me.
Does he in any way hurt her, though? Like, I mean, yeah, it would be taking out competition later down the road.
Competition,
But
supplies.
does she want that kind of smoke?
I mean, if she can't handle this smoke, do you want her as a boss? And I say that loudly into the flower on the table.
I mean, everybody starts somewhere.
Meanwhile, in the other room, she's laughing to Clyde. He thinks it's in the flower.
Oh my god. Which animal was Clyde? Was Clyde the lion?
What was that?
Was Clyde the lion or the other animal?
No. Let's see.
Clyde a horse.
Clyde Longtail's a squirrel.
Okay. Did I see the lion when I came in?
No.
Rats. Okay.
There was a swan.
And a Persian
There was
cat.
you saw the swan, the cat. There was a ferret. A lot of
No, I was
information.
gonna hit on the lion the next time I saw him because he was at Olive Garden.
And then the patrons. There was a red panda, a fox, some dogs, and some sparrows.
Birds. Okay.
I mean, at this point, Boomer's just gonna sit back and watch because, like, and he's just gonna say, like, look, it's what you guys know. I'm not trying to do anything goofy or nothing like that. It's just that, you know, where I was from and whatnot. If all ideas wasn't presented on the table, you got a bullet through your head sometimes.
Yeah.
All suggestions. No such thing as a bad idea right now, especially talking amongst such good friends.
No, but I also. It depends on the organization if they do a lot of removals of other animals. Some just steal, you know, break things, beat people up, fear. Yeah, you know, depends on the severity there.
Yeah, but she could do that herself if she wants to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, nothing's stopping her from operating out that. She brought us on for a job. Go big or go home. As Boomer sits quietly, sipping the tequila spiked tea and tips over to Rosa and hands over the teacup.
Oh yeah, no
Keep in
one's
mind.
looking, so I will. We'll
Do we
top
need to
them
go
off
get
some more.
her or?
We might be just drinking straight tequila now.
So
Right.
as you're
So we're just like chilling. And I just sit quietly at this point, just enjoying my tea.
So as your conversation kind of comes to a lull and you've had your decision, you know, there's a small rap at the door. You know, Clyde pokes his head in. You guys still talking? Or are you ready for boss to come back?
We're ready.
He pops his head back out the door, and a moment later, the two of them enter and resume their seats. So, how did your discussion go?
I think we came to a conclusion. Sorry, I'm looking for my cheat sheet.
What information are you looking for?
The basic moves.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'm ready to lay it on thick.
All right. So let her have it. What is
Do I need to roll or no?
No. Just tell me what
Okay.
your
All right. So, what we kind of had already decided this when we first kind of all got together, but we wanted to discuss it just to make sure that it was an officially all group plan. But why we kind of wanted to do this, and why Arthur got us all together is because we all have been a part of it. We've seen it. It's, it's not the organizations per se kind of tackling the little guy. It's a lot of the systems and obviously some other organizations. And we would like to kind of rectify some of these injustices and make a better and safe place for I don't know, kind of like the right boss, we want to find the right organization that fits that. And why we kind of decided on you was because you're newer. We like Scarborough. Things seem to be ran a very specific way with class and not necessarily just brute force or just messy violence for violence. It's very methodical, it's organized, and it's almost like you protect your area. So that's kind of like similar what we are wanting to do. So that's the overall goal.
That is an interesting thought and a nice viewpoint. Glad that somebody has picked up on it. But continue.
So, we would like to start off with maybe some jobs that are protecting your territory, protecting the little guys that are in your territory that might be having problems with other guys. Boomer has a contact that it's a really bad guy, not good. Things like that nature, like where we're improving your territory, but we're also like making a name for ourselves in a good way within your organization and the Scarborough.
All right, so you've got concepts, and other than this one individual, there's no direct proposition, but I like the general thought that you have. Now, based on the information that I've collected about you, you're wanting to protect the little folk, as you call them, of Scarborough. I think I can kill two birds with one stone, as the age-old adage says. How would you feel about dealing with King Tom?
Oh, that would be...
Amiga, Senorita,
Yeah.
I would love to deal...
We've had run-ins. We've had run-ins.
I'm aware.
Rosa, 2 cats, I think, already. They're probably already looking for Arthur, so honestly, it makes sense.
So, I think it should go without saying that Tom needs to be decidedly dealt with, and his organization needs to either be shut down or brought into the fold. No other way can be done. I don't care which direction you go. The choice is entirely yours. Do you feel that that is a solid testing of all of your abilities?
I think so. I'm gonna look around the table and I'm just gonna say I think the crew's gonna enjoy this personally.
Well, Tom has a connection to, I believe, is it the Precious P or something along those lines?
Yeah,
has
he's
a
there.
couple of streets that he tends to operate out of. I think from there.
Yeah,
how long
I
how
think
long
this
do you
is
think
handle.
you need to see this done?
I think we need to learn more about his organization. We've seen him at the P. We've seen kind of his grunts at the bake shop. Aside from that, we haven't had other interactions. So I'd like to get personally more insight to see how big the organization is. Find the weak link, get the information, and then squish it like a bug.
So, timetables, and like the last couple of questions, like she is definitively like in her posture, in the way she's speaking. You can see that she's adapted a more, I don't know, Hambino like business aspect, and she wants an answer. So how long till you see this done?
Jonas,
What do you
how
guys
long would it
think?
take you to do some
Do
reconnaissance?
you like a smart answer or an ambitious answer?
We want smart because we want to do this right.
We have a
I-
tactical
I mean-
expert with us.
I mean,
I want a reasonable answer, and obviously, there are
Mhm.
sometimes complications that happen, but I don't want you to say, "Oh, it's done tomorrow," and 3 weeks down the
A
road,
week
it's still
would be
still not done.
ideal, but if you give me 4 days, I can get a reasonable idea of what we need to do.
So 4 days to 2 weeks.
Yes.
absolutely.
Excellent. Well, order as much drink as you want. Order as much dessert as you like. I will pay for everything here. You have Clyde's contact information should you have any questions, problems. He will get the message to me, and if need be, word back to you. But I'm a very busy hare, and I must hop too. And she stands up, straightens her dress and her shawl, nods to the lot of you, gestures to Clyde, who quickly scurries forward and opens the door for her. Before she steps through, she looks back. 4 to
Thank
14
you.
days.
Yep.
I wave down a waiter. I wave down to a waiter. What does a guy gotta do here to get a decent pair of shrimp here? Come on.
The ferret looks at you. We don't serve shrimp in a tea shop.
Which room are we in?
The back room.
The Malone room, exactly. Get me some shrimp.
The ferret looks up at you. You aren't Bunny Malone. She specifically had that requested for the meeting for you. I don't know why. I don't know where. If you have an issue with it, you bring it up with her.
We only doing jobs and whatnot for him, right? No worries. I ain't trying to make a ruckus here.
But if you really
But I
want some
ordered it a
shrimp,
while back.
if you really want some shrimp, we can go back to that place and you can get the all-you-can-eat shrimp, just like Rosa did.
I do a hard belly laugh, and I'm like, it's all right.
So
I lost my taste for it.
So for everybody, for everybody's knowledge, Arthur is gonna look at Jonas but he's kind of saying this for everybody's benefit. And he's going to say, I'm aware they are looking for me and they don't like me. So, Jonas, you have proven yourself more than capable in every situation. So, I'm willing to go with it and be bait if you want to try to bait them out.
We can probably make that work. If you think it's the best bet.
Well, yeah, weren't they asking about him when we were at the club?
They sure were, yeah.
I mean, we could use that and say we saw him somewhere.
We could. What do you think?
And he doesn't have to still be there.
And here's the thing.
And we might be able to at least see how many cats there are then.
I
think that's very clever.
I'm sturdy, and I can put on a little bit of ham so that I can seem like I'm a little more decrepit than I actually am, too, if that helps.
I mean, or we can get the little amigos out and just blow up his car.
You could.
I'm just saying.
I love how, like, Dave perks up with that.
It's just a thought.
I think Boomer, giving his name for Boom, would definitely be like, yeah, like, explosives trade.
Dirty. We see how many cats there are, and then we take them out quick. Done.
So, here's the thing. If they're coming for me, they're probably not sending their entire squad. And then it's a question of, do we need to get back to their hideout in order to get the rest of them, or to get an audience with King Tom? Because my concern is, if we just blow them up when they show up to do whatever they want to do, we aren't going to get them all, and we certainly aren't going to get an audience with the boss.
Maybe you demand to talk to him. He wants to talk to you.
That's fair. What do you think, Jonas? You're the tactician here. What's our play? Sorry, Robin, I'm not trying to throw you on the
player
spot.
has 10 a.m. The player has 10 p.m. brain and is not like this. This is not the time. I can't right now.
Well,
It could be risky. I mean, you know.
Risky, but...
And also, what are we going to do with an audience? What do you want to talk to this guy about?
Yeah.
So, out of character, Bunny mentioned we could bring them into the fold. So, as a player, I'm wondering, do we want to bring them into the fold? Or do we want to just get rid of them? Either way, do you want to tell them where to find Arthur? Do you want to, like, pose as, like, allies? Maybe, like, have Jonas and Sugar be like, hey, we were asked about this aardvark, we think we found him for you, here he is, and then they get inside, and then you use the little buddies. Like, there's a wide variety of things we could actually do.
So she says, to speak plainly, you have to kill Tom, cut the head off the organization, then either dismantle it or say, you guys now work for Bunny. Yeah. Those are the only options. In order to successfully do the job by Bunny standards.
We have to, bare minimum, this guy has to go.
That is
minimum.
That is number one. Guy in charge needs to be dead. He needs to be put into the ground.
Alright, well, I mean, blowing up doesn't leave too much not evidence of the guy being completely dead, therefore presents a head. And in regards to what happens afterwards, I think, and this is just me speaking plainly, I think it's a step-by-step cases, whether we dismantle said organization or say, hey, all your shit belongs to us now.
Or do we just kind of begin dismantling his organization piece by piece. Like the different operations that he's running, and we work on shutting those down.
Well, we got to find out if he's got a number 2 or how many number 2, 3s, and 4s.
Yeah, because my thought as a player is that this isn't a Hydra, right? Like, she wants us to cut the head off. So if we do that, the rest of the body is irrelevant, basically, and we can choose what to do with it then. We could blow it all up, or and just kind of scatter them, anybody that's left. Or we could say, okay, we did this, so you work for him, so you work for Bunny, or you don't work. You know, we could do that. There's like a couple avenues we could do, but we have to get Tom.
Absolutely.
So how do we get to Tom? Do we want to like infiltrate in a sneaky way, or do we want to like show up? Do we want to do like drive-by style? Like, what are we trying to accomplish?
Well, first we just have to observe his organization and see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we, once we kind of like scout it out, then then we can see where the weak points are, what points lead back to Tom. Like, I think if we use Tumbleweed as bait, that's not necessarily going to tell us about the organization. We already know they don't like Tumbleweed because he mucked with their, one of their operations.
That's true.
Right. So I don't know that we'll, that's fine if the objective is to,
even Jonas said 4 days to 2 weeks max. Let us figure this Sean out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, that makes sense to me.
It takes about a week to get an idea of somebody's general habits, and 7 days is generally long enough to get an idea of when the best time to off him would be, as long as we know where he is to tail him.
Yeah.
But we need time to figure out where he is to tail him.
Right. Well, and we know that he's extorting the local businesses. We already know that.
Right.
So we could, in theory, just scout out a business as like civilians and be in the store, and then when they show up, kind of make ourselves scarce but still keep an eye on them, and then kind of tail them from there.
Right, and we don't want to put him on high alert either, so that he steps up, security from what his normal routines are.
Right. Which would mean that it probably.
If you guys haven't noticed.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, they know me, and they know Jonas, and they know Sugar. So it would have to be Rosa or Boomer that did that.
They know me too. Boomer's the only one they don't know.
You know that
Well,
Jonas and I are in league with you, though.
Well, the thing is, like, if you guys haven't noticed, I don't drive the same car every day, and we could use that to our benefit. All right. So, look. As long as we stick as a squad, do what we gotta do, and as long as the Zookeeper doesn't say I can drink the same jalopy every other day, I think we got this going.
So are you going to tail them then? Is that what we want to do? Have you follow them to wherever their hideout is, or wherever they call a base of operations?
That's a suggestion, and anyone else who wants to tag along, I'm more than happy to oblige towards the group. Just to make this game plan happen of saying, hey, look, we tailed this jerk for like X amount of time,
Yeah.
All right. So who's doing the lead of tailing? Who's trying to gather the information on Tom?
I'm just driving a car, do what my playbook says I do. I drive. Every day I get a different vehicle.
I guess part of that depends on what skill set we need. Because
Sugar.
To be a proper tail, you're going to need sly and awareness.
Okay. I am bad at both of those.
Awareness.
I can
is-
read people, but I have magnetism.
So awareness, I have a 2 at.
What's your sly?
A 1.
Better than
Alright,
zero.
Sly is kind of my jam.
All right, so you're good at sly. What's your awareness?
My awareness is a 1.
Ah, so you got like the reverse.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
we sent the two of them together, though, then we
Oh.
have the best of both worlds because Rosa can tell Boomer how to be slick and what to do specifically to tail them, and Boomer can keep an eye on them to make sure he doesn't lose sight of them.
Okay.
That's my
So
thought.
is
Does Sugar
That
have
is
any of
the-
the grifter abilities that kind of lets you be other people?
No, but I can read people.
Okay.
I mean, I like all those ideas, like thumbs up. You
All right.
know.
So, is the plan to send the Dynamite Happy Duo into tailing?
I think
What
it's
could
high
go
risk,
wrong?
but we've been gambling this whole time, so why stop now, right?
So, Dynamite Duo. Now you've been given the task of gathering some intel on King Tom, and you know that as a maybe not a base, but as a standard operating procedure, you know, Tom happens to find himself at the Precious Piece somewhat often. So starting there, you decide to give a tail over several days. So why don't you guys commit a caper, see how well you can be stealthy. Give me that sly, see how well the two of you do.
Do I need to assist or?
You're both rolling both. You're
Yeah.
both gonna roll sly, and then you're both gonna roll awareness.
All right.
All right. So for my Sly, I got a 15 with doubles. Oh, and the neutral boss.
All right, doubles with the neutral boss is going to be success, and everyone gets a +1 forward. What do you have there, Carlos?
So the question is, do rolls happen simultaneously and or not? Because if I'm to reading up as I have right now, I have a 6 + 1, 7. The +1 will bring it up to an 8, and I have good and neutral showing.
All right, so 7, 8, 9, they're all the same thing.
Okay.
So doesn't really change anything. So you have the
But 1 forward. So you say 9. Yeah, like 9, same thing. My bad. I'm jumping the gun so hard.
all right, so you have the good and the neutral boss showing. You said
Yeah.
Then you should have a 12.
that would be if you have the good and the neutral boss, that's a 12.
It's a double threes. Double threes. My slide's 1, 7. With the +1,
Okay, so what
from
boss is
Dave.
showing then?
Good and neutral.
12s are boss showing, not 3s.
And
No,
they're
I-
just the dice.
No, I have literally threes.
Yeah.
Number
What-
3,
what-
number 3. 3 + 3 is 6.
Yes.
And then +1 is 7. My
Yeah,
slide's
okay.
1.
Yeah, but you're saying you've got 2 3s, and you're saying you've got 2 bosses. That's 4 dice. That's not possible.
I'm so sorry. I misheard. I have double threes. I meant literally just double threes. Threes, doubles.
Okay, all right. So you're at success with consequences with doubles. So that's going to be a -1 forward, and you get to give a +1 forward. So your +1 forward that you just got from Dave will get eaten out by the -1 forward. So you're good there. And then Dave will get a +1 forward because he'll be the one in the scene with you. Make sense?
Yep. Yep.
All right.
So,
All right.
but,
So,
for my awareness, um,
well, hold on.
okay.
So, Dave, you've got a success that was a crit. So narratively, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn your crit to take away his consequence, so that you manage to both remain unseen. In that moment where you could have been discovered, what is it that Boomer does that draws attention that Rosa is able to counteract?
Let's say this is the same day that I'm running my jalopy, right?
Okay.
And this jalopy, but a pop! There's a pop in the middle of the street.
Okay.
Rosa, what do you do to counteract this bullshit of my jalopy popping?
Okay.
Do you fart in the middle of the street? If you say yes, I will love you.
I don't think that is going to quite do it. They need to be distracted somehow, and it's got to be like overwhelming in order to get them to not be paying attention to you. And so
It's only going one direction.
So I've kind of gotten used to the rhythm of this jalopy we've been driving around in.
Yep. Okay.
And you know, I'm pretty sensitive to the vibrations that mechanical things make. So I actually anticipate the backfire,
Yep.
knowing it's going to give us away. And I toss a stick of dynamite down an alleyway that is the opposite direction of us.
Okay.
Timing it to go off at the same time so that the noise kind of overpowers.
Okay. Well done. So, all right. Now let's get into the awareness roll.
All right.
So Dave, you got a +1 forward from yourself and a +1 forward from Boomer.
Okay. Well, I'm showing 8s. I get a +1. That's 9. That brings me to an 11.
All right. What do you got there, Boomer?
I have a 9 on the die plus my 2 awareness brings me up to 11.
Oh,
All
so
right.
that's double too. That's success with doubles.
All right. So success with doubles is get a +1 forward for your next roll.
Woohoo! Get the good
All
times
right.
rolling.
So you know that King Tom started off as an alley cat. He was a scrapper. I'm saying that you gather some information amongst what the other group is doing. And as we're closing in on the end, I wanted to, kind of wrap this all up together. So King Tom himself is not a slouch, even though these days he's a bit of a fancy man. He's got a lot of minions. Most of them aren't much of anything, but usually when King Tom starts talking, threatening, the cats around him absolutely listen. He's got several trusted.
That is one of the
lieutenants.
most uncat-like things I've ever heard of.
That's how he rolls.
It's impressive, very impressive. He is the cat lord.
Oh, that's why he's King Tom.
He herds the cats.
He's
But
got
can he-
he's got a handful of businesses that are loyal, and a handful of others that are very much kept under his claws. Ironically, the claw is his right paw, and he's a almost panther-like dark cat. Likes to wear a dark trench coat. Likes to linger in the shadows. Remains unseen for the most part. tending to operate at night. And then there's the twins, Jasper and Jinx. These three are the ones that are the most loyal to him, and based off of your observations, you don't think any of those three are going to just turn tail and give up, even if Tom were to go down. So you gather with those two 11s that these are the four that in one way, shape, or form have to be dealt with in order to, completely take over or take out the organization.
I just casually talk to Rosa. Look, loss of life is not something that I particularly enjoy, but as I light up a stogie or something, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, that guy's kind of a jerk anyway, so
I know. But
I don't think it counts.
So
And he's a cat. We're only going to take one of his lives.
we're 5 days into your contract. You still have nine more to get the situation resolved, and we will resume this in 2 weeks. Next week, your Zookeeper is not going to be easily available at the aforementioned time slot. So hopefully everybody can return, and we can continue our journeys through Furton City and dealing with, at the moment, the alley cats and King Tom.
Yeah.
Come on back next time, and until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.